In tonight's big story, 509 migrants crossed the Channel the same day that 6 people tragically died trying to make the same journey. And earlier in the week, the Bibby Stockholm migrant barge was found to be full of diseases. It seems like the whole system is screwed. I'm joined by immigration lawyer Ivan Sampson to discuss our broken migration system. Hi, Ivan. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Good evening.
Have the Tories lost control, and how do you think we could fix the system?
I think, look, people say there's a huge asylum problem, but if you look over the last 20 years, we've had a fluctuation on the number of people claiming asylum. In 2001, when I was a young lawyer, we had 85,000 people in 1 year claiming asylum, significantly less than we have now. And there's a correlation between conflicts around the world and the number of people seeking asylum. So things will change. 10 years from now, we might have a totally different set of figures. With regard to your second part of the question is, how do we fix the system? I wonder if the Home Office wants to fix it. I wonder if, because every policy they've put forward has been in breach of either the Refugee Convention or the European Convention on Human Rights. It's not rocket science. Policies must comply with the law. Everything the government proposed does not comply with the law. And I wonder if the government, up to the election, they've got this one single policy is we can fix the asylum system. If they fix it before the election, what do they do then? I mean, what else are they going to try and win the election on? What other policies? So I wonder how much effort the government are putting in. Look, the low-lying fruit is 5 countries where the grant rate is in the 90%. Why isn't the government releasing the blockage in the system by quickly granting asylum to those nationals from those 5 countries?
But Ivan, I think it's because it's because we know that the system is being gamed. It's being fixed. People are fiddling the system. They're being coached by immigration lawyers, by NGOs, by charities in how to claim asylum. So you're told to say you're a Christian, for example. So you can't be sent back because you'll be persecuted. And I believe that's how the Liverpool maternity bomber managed to stay in the UK. They're told to say that they're gay, or they'll be tortured if they get sent back. So I mean, we've seen the revelations over the past few weeks of how the asylum system can be fiddled. And it seems unfair to blame the government for that system. Maybe it's that system that needs to be changed. And, you know, the fact that we've got a high pass rate for the people who do claim asylum really shows that the system is wrong rather than those are all deserving cases.
Well, I disagree with you because the government, when it refuses asylum applications, it's the British courts which allow them afterwards. So it's actually judges who look at this evidence and judges who then allow the appeals. So, and I think it's around 35 or 40% success rate on when asylum applications are refused by the Home Office. So that's simply not true. Look,
but that's, I mean, you're saying the courts and the judges are making these decisions. They're making these decisions based on the law. And the law was set up with the best intention and with different circumstances. Now that people have worked out how to fiddle that system, and they're coming across the channel in these boats, and we can see from looking at them that we can see footage of them ripping up their passports so they can claim to be whatever age and from whatever country they want. We can see that they're primarily economic migrants.
Well, look, if we know that one of the problems is people pretending to be from other countries, then we've got to have processes and policies to weed them out. Who else is going to do it? You elect a government to come up with policies to do that. Now, if they're failing to do that...
The government has been trying to push through anything it can do to try and either dissuade people from making the crossing, so setting up the Bibby Stockholm barge, so at least they're not being put in a 4-star hotel that looks amazing on the TikTok adverts that the people traffickers use to sell their expensive cross-channel journeys. and they're trying to push through the Rwanda plan, but they're stymied at every point by lawyers, by European courts, by UK courts as well. It just feels that the government is hamstrung. It's stuck between the law and a hard place.
We're signed up to international treaties. That is our international treaty obligations. We cannot flout the law as a sophisticated society, a society which upholds the law. So if you don't like the law, change the law. But don't blame lawyers and judges for upholding the law. That's simply not right. No, look, it's a global problem, needs a global solution. And the UNCHR needs to get involved. We need an addendum to the Refugee Convention to say what happens to asylum seekers once they claim asylum. Who takes them? Take Turkey has 3 million asylum seekers. Jordan has 1.5 million. Pakistan over 1 million. We are 17th on the League of European countries on the number of asylum seekers we take. So we actually don't take enough. That's
not entirely fair, because people should claim asylum in the first safe place that they can. And I think somebody coming from far afield, from the Middle East, the values, the culture that they bring with them might not mesh perfectly with a Western liberal democracy. The attitudes to women, to homosexuals, and we've seen in the past the issues that this has caused. And with people with ideologies, violent medieval ideologies that want to cause harm. For example, the Liverpool maternity hospital bomber that I mentioned earlier, he was claiming asylum in the UK. Although Turkey does take a lot more asylum seekers than the UK, I'm sure we'd take a lot more if they were from France, from Spain, from places that are nearby and culturally similar.
Well, look, the Refugee Convention, first of all, you don't have to seek asylum in the first country that you go to. That's the law. So if you want to comply with the law, then, you mustn't raise these issues. If you want to flout the law and say, well, you know what, we're going to break the Refugee Convention, we're not going to abide by what it says, and we're going to send them back from where they came from. That's fine. You can do that. And while we were in the EU, we had a treaty which allowed us to do that, the Dublin Convention. Since we came out the EU, we can no longer do that. So if you want to just push back boats, which is what Australia did under what's called Operation Sapphire, which is what the government's blueprint's on, is they're copying the Australians.
Which worked very well. It was very effective.
Yeah, we can push the boats back. The French push them back towards us. We push them back. And where does it end? You need to have treaties with other countries, and this is an international problem which needs an international solution. The EU are coming up with a new asylum plan. We should be part of that.